The possibility of a second Scottish independence referendum are being watched closely across Europe, of course, and nowhere more closely than in the Spanish region of Catalonia. I've been speaking to the region's Foreign Minister, Raul Romeva.
When you have a complex situation, the more normal thing to do is to ask people what they think about and to put arguments on the table. That's exactly what we would like very much to do on the situation.
And you see parallels, do you, between Scotland or Northern Ireland and Catalonia?
I see parallels in terms of democracy. I see parallelisms in the fact that there is a complex situation, there is a political problem, and from that perspective needs a political solution. And indeed, there is some circumstances that makes the Catalan reality a bit parallel to what other realities, notably the one in Scotland, are similar. In fact, the fact that there is a population that is willing and that wishes to take, let's say, the command on its own fate. This is something that is similar, but there are some differences. The fact that in Scotland there is a situation where you have a government, the UK government, that allows to have that debate, and that makes it possible, and that even participates on that debate, defending its position legitimately. And this is not the case in Spain. That's exactly what we are missing, and that's why we are very much jealous of the situation in the UK in terms of democracy.
I suppose the big question, though, in both cases is why break up? These are countries that have been living as part of one nation, peacefully together. Why have a breakup?
Well, I don't...
Isn't that just creating more boundaries?
No, actually, it's the contrary. Because I'm not thinking in terms of breaking up. I'm thinking in terms of democracy. I'm thinking in terms of making political projects more reliable to the people. When you have the 80% of the population in a country that is putting in question the legitimacy of the status quo, I think that means something, and that you should listen to that. Obviously, there is a lot of opportunities in front of us, but I think that in any case, what you have to do is to confront reality. And reality right now in Catalonia is that there is an 80% of the population that understands that there is a political problem that needs to be solved democratically. Is that creating a boundary? I think it's exactly the opposite, because the fact that you impede this population to express themselves in the sense they wish it, I think that's creating a lot
against that, in Scotland, the population expressed its will, and all that happened was those people who wanted independence just said, OK, let's have another vote. Would that happen in Catalonia, do you think, if you lost on the first round?
Well, but the question is that, the situation has changed. I mean, something has happened in the case of the UK and Scotland, something important, which is the Brexit vote as well. In the case of Catalonia, we are very much keen to ask to the people and to respect the people's wish, which means that would the result be, yes, Catalonia should be an independent state, obviously this needs to be respected. If the response is no, as it was the case in Scotland or in the Quebec twice, well, this will have to be respected as well. And that's exactly...
But that's the problem, it's a never-ending.
Or maybe not. No, because actually, when you have a complex situation, the best way to tackle this is to confront it democratically. Situation is not going to disappear simply because it's uncomfortable for some. And that's what we always try to explain to our friends in Spain. That is something that is on the table. Let's talk about that. That's what you call here the elephant in the room. We would like very much to talk about that elephant. Unfortunately, we cannot do this in a normal way with the Spanish state institutions right now.
As you say, the Spanish government doesn't want to open up this question. It's also said that were Scotland to become independent, the Spanish government would then block Scotland from rejoining the European Union. Do you think that's likely?
Well, I think that, first of all, any situation is completely different to the other. Scottish case is a reality.
There's this link there, isn't there?
There is a link in one aspect. Is written nowhere that this would be the final outcome. This is going to be negotiated. It's written nowhere that a new state that is born within the European Union will have to apply from outside. This is not written anywhere. You can interpret the texts that way, but you can interpret them also in the other way around. So at the end, it's a question of negotiations. That's exactly what we want to put the debate. And that's basically something that brings us to a situation that you cannot simply permanently deny reality. Reality is there, and then it forces you to tackle it and to face it.
Well, that was the view from Catalonia. Breaking news: the last